Welcome to the session on managed floating exchange rate system. It will be helpful if you are familiar with the concepts of currency appreciation and currency depreciation. Detailed videos of the same are already available on this channel, and I'll provide their links in the description below. There are three types of exchange rate systems: fixed exchange rate system, flexible or floating exchange rate system, and managed floating exchange rate system. In fixed exchange rate system, the exchange rate for a currency is fixed by the government. It is also called pegged exchange rate system. Two examples of fixed exchange rate system are the gold standard system and the Bretton Woods system. In flexible or floating exchange rate system, the exchange rate is determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Floating exchange rate system became common after the end of gold standard and Bretton Woods system. In managed floating exchange rate system, the exchange rate is determined by the market forces, but the central bank can intervene to stabilize the value of currency whenever required. So it's a hybrid of fixed and flexible exchange rate systems. Now you can pause the video and read the merits and demerits of each system. Let's dive deep into the managed floating exchange rate system. So, as we know, it is a system in which the exchange rate is determined by demand and supply forces, but the central bank stabilizes the value of currency in case of extreme appreciation or depreciation of domestic currency. And how does the central bank do it? By intervening to change the direction or the pace of change of the value of country's currency. It is essentially floating exchange rate but is called managed because central bank influences it by entering the foreign exchange market as a bulk buyer or seller of currency. This restricts the fluctuations in exchange rate within certain limits and keeps it close to the desired target values. For this, the central bank maintains large reserves of foreign exchange. If the floating exchange rate is too high, the central bank sells foreign exchange from its reserves to bring down the rate and vice versa. It is also called dirty floating exchange rate system as a country can manipulate its exchange rate to harm its trading partners. Let's understand managed floating exchange rate system with the help of an example. Let's say that the market determined exchange rate is $1 is equal to 80 rupees. Now, there are various reasons due to which exchange rate can either rise or fall. So, let's say due to some reasons, the exchange rate rises to $1 is equal to 85 rupees. This leads to currency depreciation, that is, fall in the value of rupee with respect to the dollar. Every country has a range within which it can tolerate the fluctuations in the exchange rate. Let's say that this rise in exchange rate is within that tolerable range, and therefore the central bank does not intervene in the foreign exchange market as of now. Similarly, if the exchange rate falls to $1 is equal to 75 rupees, it leads to currency appreciation. That is, a rise in the value of rupee with respect to the dollar. And this fall in exchange rate also lies within the tolerable range, and the central bank does not intervene in the foreign exchange market. If the exchange rate rises further to $1 is equal to 92 rupees, this leads to extreme currency depreciation, and now the central bank intervenes and tries to decrease the exchange rate and bring it within the tolerable range. And how does the central bank do it? The central bank will sell dollars in the foreign exchange market. Similarly, if the exchange rate falls further to $1 is equal to 68 rupees, it leads to extreme currency appreciation, and once again it calls for intervention of the central bank. So the central bank intervenes and tries to increase the exchange rate and bring it up to the tolerable range. And it does that by buying dollars in the foreign exchange market. So we see that intervention of the central bank helps in stabilizing the exchange rate within the tolerable range by central bank acting as either a bulk buyer or a bulk seller of foreign exchange. If you have any doubts, please leave them in the comment section below. In case you found the video helpful, remember to press the like button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel for more economics concepts and tutorials.